Oh, geez, really? Whoa. I mean, every time I start a session with and I haven't launched the randomizer yet, it is reassuring just to know that, like, yeah, it is that hard. Look how relaxing this looks by comparison. I have moments of like, man, am I just this much worse than I was back in the day or whatever? Did I struggle this much back in the day? And then I see what was actually there and I'm like, oh my god, it was just dots? This wall was just dots? There was no Tetris or any other puzzles mixed in? Randomizer's hard, man. Yeah, I did finish all of that, at least. Have I been missing messages? It's hard to be sure. These are the ones I like, too, because they kind of, like, drop the facade. But who knows where I might be missing them. There's no way. I have to be, like, done with the other part already. No. Wait. Oh man, you don't even move them. I can't believe that works. Ah, shit. Alright. Hello? Oh wait, I have to do the outside of the other side too. Can't really draw that shape. Because it'd be cool if I could draw the 4 like this. But I have to get there in a way that draws the other shape too. And starting in the middle, okay. Blah 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 blah. Good. Trying to imagine like what the shape would even look like. I guess that would have been like this if I combined them. 3 on the bottom, 4 on top. Help. Fuck. I'm not really getting a grip on this one at all to even like start it. We have a lot of the usual problem, which is the fact that you can't. If it does line these walls, I can't draw it that way, because you have to somehow draw the outline of the whole backboard. You can't line the outside very well. There we go. There we go. I just had to find the right spot that makes it all work out. I just had to make it so that because I talked about how hard it is to draw the backboard, I was calling it for some reason. So you have to make it so the whole back line points to the exit. So I just kind of push it backwards from there. Alright, that was easier than the previous one to me. Shut up. But me saying that is pointless because there's no difficulty curve with the randomizer. There's attempts that are made, but it's mostly just like... It's often like the complexity of like the number of elements involved, or even how big the grid is maybe. How dense the grid is with symbols. It's probably the closest they get to having a difficulty curve when it's randomized puzzles. I am hitting a point in the game, I probably mentioned this before, where it's getting harder and harder to tell where the puzzles are and how many are left. I feel like I'm running out, right? I think we're almost done. I think it's this one puzzle. And then this room and that room? Did those two, but not those two. And that one's gonna require... Probably gonna just Photoshop this one or something. GIMP it. That's what I should say. I should just say that the reality is I'm gonna use GIMP. It's just GIMP is a really awkward name, given its implications. And then I think I'm done. This one's here. Sorry if I just like forget about the locations of entire puzzles. I don't know if there are more. I could be done today if I could just figure out this handful of puzzles. Maybe this is the finale for all I know. But I am just so stuck on some of these. Yeah, I think that might be the entirety of this zone. I think inside the mountain might not actually be that long of a level. Honestly, that number... I guess the number of puzzles I've done in here are actually fairly equivalent to how long a level tends to be in this game. It just... In my memory, this place feels like it was a much longer zone. I'm surprised by how I don't see that much to do here. So we're on the last 5 puzzles. All right, let's see if I can make sense of the one that I've been cooking on the longest. God, you've been here for a long... Oh no, I remember you. Oh, I hate you. Hate you so much. I hate you so much. I hate you so good. Everybody else remembers this band. It's not just me. Everyone likes them too. Fuck. Can I like call a helpline? Lifeline? Is that what it's called? Defunct game show that people totally remember. I had a moment of panic there. I'm like, did I just fucking solve this? That one's good, that one's good. That one's good, that one's good, that one's good. Everything's good except for that one. What part of the puzzle is that one? Yeah. Yep. Because this approach has used basically every particle of the board. There's like no space anywhere. But given that there's no space left anywhere, it's really hard to get away from that one triangle and do something else. Oh, hey. Look at that little goofy symmetry quirk. Like, there's a wraparound graphic. Look at the, look at where the puzzle starts. The thick part. The knob or whatever. You can see this little white pixel on the edge of the screen next to it on both of them. Bottom left and top right. You can see whenever I push all the way in, it creates a little pixel on the other side of the screen. It has like this like wraparound to it. Very small. You might not see it on phones or something. Anyway, fun distraction. Still haven't solved the puzzle. Yeah, that's the densest part of the entire board as far as, I guess, everything, but my line right now, I cannot... My first approach is like, I'm pretty sure I have to slide under, or I guess, under the bottom, so over the top, in order to get the whole thing started. So my reflexive thing is that when the line ripples back, like, is there a juke I can do to stay away from the triangle that's up top? But every part of that area is used right now. The moment I go back here and don't do that, suddenly things get really messy. Yeah. Because I gotta come back here in order to hit this 2 and finish it, which means that I'm now 2ing the 1 on the other side of the board. And so it specifically fucks over that approach. And the only way I'm getting around that is if I make the... Yeah, no. No, it pretty thoroughly breaks everything else that I have going for me. Man, I should tweet some of these harder ones just to see, like, if people have as much trouble as I do. That'd be interesting. Just as, like, a test. I could, like, tweet one of these every day for a bit, just to fuck with people. Be like, good luck, buddies! Ah! Okay, so... I may have done it. It's a bit of a guess. So I got through a few steps here. One, I tried to color correct each diagonal layer because I figured the rainbow is diagonal, right? Like this way. So the bands of ones that are the same color is each diagonal line, but I could not figure out how to color correct it to be that consistent. So then I just went by eye. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna look at this cluster here. This cluster right here is very clearly blue. And this one stands out as being a different color, and then these ones are that color. And you have to try to, like, eyeball the rainbow, essentially. Like, this is too harsh of a change for neighbors, but this maybe isn't. So, like, this all seems like it's one color, with this being an obvious contrast there and there. Whereas this all seems like it might be one color, with these being obvious contrasts. But anyway, this is my takeaway. Is that, to me, it looks like that. Alright. Get back to the game. Blah, blah, blah. Too many tabs open because of this process now. Alright, now the game's working. Cool. I just gotta get a screenshot of what I just showed you and put that on my other screen so I can look at it. And then maybe we can find out if any of this is correct or not. As whenever I'm using any kind of thing, it's a whole process to figure out how to convey anything. But then... I'm trying to outline all the ones that I circled in white. Carefully. And if this is wrong, then we're in deep shit, but I'm not wrong! Okay, that one's, I don't think anyone takes that much of an issue with me doing it that way, because, like... Well, actually, especially since my color correction didn't even work, so I really did just mark them on a separate piece, on a separate note, just so I could try to keep track of my progress, because doing it all by eye all at once is hard. What was this one again? This one really fucked me up. Oh, didn't it? So the way these symbols work is that you can match 2 green stars and 2 purple stars together into one shape. But you can't put two squares together that are different colors. That's where you get into problems. Really? I did that on a whim. Okay. Huh. Huh, yeah. Okay. I guess that makes sense. Yep. Just matched up one pair and took one of the purples out of this equation. And I just kind of got curious, and then that's exactly how that played out. Okay. Well. Free to go, right? Oh, this pillar room. This kind of puzzle gives me a headache. Am I going to do these next and save the triangle one for last? I have tried the triangle again today. I have not tried these again today. Ah, this one gives you so much freedom to try to do different things with it. And freedom is bad. It means you can have so many different approaches to being wrong. What if t plus sign square? T plus... No. That'd be a t. Plus sign t is facing the other direction. Plus sign square t, nope. Rah. T square. I can't place the star over here in a way that would hit the square's icon. It's an awkward shape to play with. Plus sign square T? Maybe. What was my plan again? Yeah. Plus sign square T. That's not an exit. Okay, well, let's take a look at that, though. Does this feature all the shapes? It will when I do this. Okay, so there's the plus sign, there's the T, there's the square. Okay, so all three shapes are in there. Can I draw this differently? Not with where the post is. But I could start on the other side. Square. Yeah. T plus sign square. Yes. Yes. Is that... That's a rock. It's just shine on a rock. I thought it was an audio log. Haha. Is this rubble a clue to stand here? Well, the rubble's not consistent, so probably not. It'd be interesting if there was an environmental clue about where to stand. Pfft. Okay, so draw two shapes. That makes this thing solvable. Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-boo. This is nothing hidden back there? Okay, so this is an angle where I can at least see everything. I can try to plan. So you have a pretty good understanding of how much the post covers, so you can kind of imagine it being in a position. Once you have an idea of what you want to draw. The go-to location for drawing the weird shape, the T thing. Like, without even rotating it, it does perfectly cover both whites. While keeping them separate from the black icons. But then the staircase nestles right on top of that, and it touches the edge of white. In its current position, it touches the edge of white and black, making it really impossible to separate them. But if you push it back by one towards the edge of the map, then it still causes a problem. It still touches the edge of white, which makes it pretty hard to separate white. Because you can't, from where it's positioned, you can't make it touch, like actually use the square for white, which is the ideal way to separate it. Like my go-to approach of how to place the T is to place it in a way where it cuts off both of the white ones. And that part's intuitive. But the L it just doesn't do that. But the negative space of the T does not match the positive space of the L, so I can't even place it inside of its pocket and draw it as layers. So I can't draw it as two separate shapes. It has to be one continuous shape, probably. But there's no way to place, as far as I can tell. What if it went lengthwise? Hang on a minute. If it rotated that way... Did I just solve it? Shit. Gotta double check my work again now to see if I did it right. The T shape is back there and the staircase... Yep, there it is. That was the one. You just need fresh eyes sometimes to come back later. Yep. I had to get away from my intuitive approach of trying to get these separated from everything else by drawing the shape there. Instead, the secret was the fact that this is separated enough that you could just draw these two later. You just needed a way to connect them. Okay. Shit. Those are done. Oh, man. Getting there we are. I hope I'm right about this being all the remaining puzzles. I guess I'll go watch my own playthrough when I think I'm done, just to double check. See if I go anywhere else. I'm sorry, but I just don't want to put myself through the challenge again. So I'm not doing that one. It's just not as necessary, and it's not new content. Maybe, I don't know, maybe the randomizer makes the challenge harder. Are you the hardest puzzle in the game? Just trying to feel like the hardest puzzle in the game. I think I have it? Yes! That's it! Ah! How many times was I right next to that one, too? So you end up drive-buying all of them twice. You don't turn a corner a single time. You have to overshoot every single two. That is such a strangely, like... noteworthy looking solution that it almost doesn't feel randomized, but I know it is because I've seen the non-randomized one. So what's my result? I ended up with 473 solved plus 57. Not massive. It's not all the ones ever, but you know, it's up there. Is my old one still here? 523 plus 135. 2016. Yeah, I guess that's the last result. I'm still missing like 50 puzzles, but I don't know where they are. I don't even remember what the +6 stands for. Is that just the obelisks? To say how many of them are complete? Also, does the challenge count as some of the puzzles? Like when you finish it for completely, do they add to the total? 135. So I also found about... That's not bad, actually. That's more than I thought. I found about half of the environmental puzzles in the game. 60 out of 135. That's like way more than I thought I would get in a playthrough where I'm not actively hunting every single one down. Neat. Let's start a new game. I think the game didn't like me hitting start a new game because it closed. Did I hit start it? Did I accidentally click quit somehow? Start a new game? Yes. I think the randomizer being on broke me clicking start a new game. Okay, so let's do the secret ending for the sake of it, right? If I remember how. I don't remember if you do it in an existing file or a new file. Spooky. That's such a revelation the first time you see it. You're like, oh, the gate at the beginning of the game forms a witness puzzle. I'm gonna lose my fucking mind. Oh god. Okay. Calm down. A little too low. I think starting a new game resets your controls.
Ever in my life have I sought thee with my songs. It was they who led me from door to door, and with them I have felt about me, searching and touching my world. It was my songs that taught me all the lessons I ever learned. They showed me secret paths. They brought before my sight many a star on the horizon of my heart. They guided me all the day long to the mysteries of the country of pleasure and pain. And at last, to what palace gate have they brought me in the evening at the end of my journey?
Oh, I turned this way down. Holy crap.
Additional contributions in modeling by Shannon Galvin, Alex Hayworth, Andrea Blazic, Eric Urquhart, and David Hellman. Additional contributions in programming by Casey Miratori, Andrew Heenick, and Nicholas Ray.
This is a pretty goofy and... Oh, doggy! Oh, he's not alive. This is a kind of an interesting credit sequence. This big non-linear thing where every time you go to a balcony of some kind, you have a different view of the island. And not because it's a different balcony, but because you're somehow viewing it from a different direction completely. But yeah, I figured this is like a good enough playthrough for what it was supposed to be. The point was to play the randomizer, not recomplete the entire game, which would have been a lot. And I just can't do it. I can't put myself to the challenge again. I can't. Not again. Don't make me. I have like a really specific memory of being like around here, I feel like, when one of the audio logs thanks Vihart, and I was like, oh, I know who that is.
In-house playtesting by Francis Dooling, Michael Calandra, Timothy Steen. Thanks to our friends who helped playtest: Daniel Ben-Mergui, Mark Ten Bosch, Vi Hart,
Yep.
Chris Hecker, Brian Moriarty, Chris Butcher, Aaron Robinson, Jeff Roberts, Juan Chun.
She does a math YouTube channel. Is her name actually Vi Hart? They like pause and say it as 2 words. I just thought it was a username. This is a trip, this visual. But yeah, there's a lot more audio logs lying around, but we'll be sitting here for like 20 minutes if I track down every single one and listen to them. And a lot of them are credits. But like the slow way. Boom. Cool effect. Like a 3D image. I imagine we're just playing forward and backwards in a video that was recorded, like slid along like a dolly or something. Boom. A whole internal view of the studio, I guess. Is the idea. The other one didn't have a puzzle, did it? No. Look at that! It's the some of the fucky puzzles you dealt with in the mountain. Adding to the weird freeformness of the playthrough, there's just this element of like, there's the falling man from Myst. There's a... This is the closest thing I can do to like something that's like final feeling, but it's a thing I could trigger whenever I felt like. As opposed to a thing I earned specifically. That moment of like, oh, the EKG things look like witness puzzles. Whoa. You can see him pausing for a moment to think about it. Really goofy. It's unnerving, the idea of them being so dedicated to this thing that they like hook into it for longer than they can like survive. That's kind of distressing. Like an element of trust, like will I even survive? Like, I wouldn't want to get hooked to anything that I could be in for so long that I could die without the right resources or whatever. There's not even anyone here like monitoring him. And then you have the fucking... No. The fucking catheter. His legs are all fucky. Does he unhook himself from the catheter at any point? Or does he just walk away? I know the Red Letter Media guys really got attached to that joke. They were weirdly mean in that review though, like calling this game a scam. I'm like, what? Not malicious, he just didn't like it. Whatever. It's dead to him. A broken cookie, how dare you. He threw it behind the counter, he has to get that out now. It's like behind the stove. He is just drawn to any complete circle. Why would you not finish it? Because it's not a circle anymore, but that's so gross. This is such an absurd ending to the game. I kind of wish more things looked overtly like witness puzzles during the segment. He's just kind of drawn to any circle he can find. But like the witness IRL, for example, like there's a subreddit. I don't really look at it, but I know it exists. But like, it's just like, you know, like people have this phenomenon where they just like, oh shit, it's a witness puzzle. I point them out in other games all the time. Whenever you recognize this a circle with a line coming out of it, basically. Like, you watch the Goofy movie, and when Max parts the crowd, suddenly you're like, wait, is that a witness puzzle? This is mostly, check out my surprisingly nice office. Now there's a witness puzzle. He didn't even look at it, he just walked right past the actual witness puzzle. How you care? You're gonna fix it on all these nails? Or screws or what? There's a witness puzzle right there. You're gonna get your hand in the web. This is such a nice yard. I don't know how he walked right past the only thing that looked like a witness puzzle this entire time, though, and doesn't acknowledge it. They should have your mouse work during that part, and if you click on that part of the video, it actually gives you +1 towards your save. Anyway, the game closes itself. There we go. That's the end. This was the Witness Returned Randomizer playthrough. I finished it eventually. It was really hard. I would feel really dumb whenever I was stuck, and then I would like stop for a day and load the next day, and then I would see the puzzle I was stuck on yesterday with the randomizer turned off and be like, oh my god, no. And then I really would see how much harder it was with the randomizer on, and I'd feel a lot better about myself and feel a little vindicated, because yeah, it's not easy. And it has a hard mode. That wasn't the hard mode. Oh god. You're welcome to try that if you want to. I think I put all the links in the description from the beginning, assuming they still work. Will I ever come back for hard mode? I don't know. Maybe one day. I could always practice hard mode in my free time, because the randomizer means that it changes puzzle solutions anyway, so I could always test it out for myself to see if it seems reasonable one day. But you know, I don't know if people want to watch me play The Witness that many times that badly. But this was part of the whole my not very well committed to 10-year anniversary 10,000 subscribers thing. This is one of the things I wanted to get to, was the return to The Witness, which I originally said I was going to try to do 2 years afterwards, and that would have been 4 years ago, because now it's been 6 years since the original playthrough, I think, which is one eternity ago. Just weird to think in those terms. But yeah, I'm going to call it here, and we'll see you next time.